only two on-screen deaths in the movie, and they're really close to each other. For it being a rated R movie, it's really not that violent. They could pass for PG-13, just like they/them. The only thing that makes it rated R is the fact that they use the F word like 5 times in this movie. They also dropped 2 slurs, and this is a brand new ass movie. You should know better than that by now. There's like no reason for it. There's this one kid that gets called the B slur. And then later there's a scene in the bathroom where the kid gets called the F slur. It's pretty stupid to me. Should know better than now to just use slurs for shock humor or just pretend that they're not that slurs. They have a damaging background. Just don't use them. There's other words. Rather you not have homophobic and racist stuff in the movie. But if you're gonna do that, don't just use slurs. It's pretty stupid. Yeah, the only 2 on-screen deaths really aren't that violent. There is a brother to the main killer of the movie, and he gets an axe to the head when he goes to try and save the kid because he gets curious for whatever reason. It's not like he hears noise or anything, because the basement is soundproof. He just decides to go in the basement. And then we finally have like some character development from him, and he dies. Like, he goes, I knew my brother was hiding something from me down here. Well, he only had like 2 other scenes, dude. One was snorting cocaine, and one was acting crazy to the cops about conspiracy theories about the grabber. So, that isn't very good character development. So he immediately gets an axe to his head. Kinda lazy. The grabber is like, how dare you make me kill my brother? And then he later gets killed by the kid by getting choked to death with a phone cord. There's a vent window thing in there, and he uses a cord to pull the thing out, but he never tries to escape, except off screen. Because later in the movie they say that he did try everything. They're like, hey, did he try to get out the window? And he's like, I tried everything. I stacked all the carpets up, I couldn't get out. But he did none of that on screen. What was the point of having a big moment on screen of him ripping the thing off if we aren't going to see him do anything with it? But yeah, this movie just really wasn't that good. I don't get why a lot of people like this movie. It's just not good. Most of the movie is just him sitting in the basement and occasionally the grabber showing up and having some dialogue, and most of it is pedophilic. There's a scene where he asks him why he's downstairs if he's not going to feed him. And he says, just to look at you. And then there was another scene where he said, I won't make you do anything you won't. And then he paused and said, like. So, yeah, he's a pedophile. That's what I wanted to watch. A pedophile killer. And he doesn't even kill anybody in this movie. Because, it's pretty controversial to kill kids in most movies. So a lot of them don't kill kids in movies, and if they do, it's heavily censored. And since his whole thing is him being a pedophile and only killing little boys, none of it's shown. Just his innocent brother getting killed by him, and then him dying not too long after. And don't get me wrong, there's been good movies that don't have high kill counts, like The Shining only has like 3 kills in it. But, something that was hyped. They had their own phone number that they gave away for people to text to get updates about the movies. It was just promoted really good for it to be kind of disappointing. Only 2 kills. And the main actor just having his character be a pedophile. The only thing that I think that I have a theory of, because I usually don't do theories, but I think that because he wears a bunch of different masks throughout the movie. As you can see, there's this one, there's this one, there's this one. There is a scene in the movie when the main actor Finney asks about where his friends are, right? Robin and Bruce, and asks what happened to them. And he says, "I didn't kill them. Someone else did." I have a feeling that this dude is a bit delusional, and he thinks every time he puts on a new mask, he's a different person. So he killed Bruce and Robin with a different mask on. That's like my only theory. I don't know why he would blatantly lie, besides, being a psychopath, but besides that, he didn't lie at all in the movie, so why would he just lie about that? And it's a very odd movie. That is the only scene that we see him in, like, full face for a little bit. He gets his mask taken off and then he's immediately strangled. He tries to keep covering his face because he doesn't want Finney to see his face for whatever reason. Just a very weird, confusing movie that doesn't explain too much, besides the fact that the main actor, main character, might be a pedophile. Just, weird. Then the black phone, the title of the movie is really only used for the dead kids that the grabber killed, to call the new victim and give him hints on what to do or talk to him. And then eventually when he's killing Ethan, he puts the phone to his head and says, "This is for you." And then they say some words that kind of foreshadowed his death that they said earlier in the movie. And then that's really it for the movie. Movie ends with him going to school and everybody making up different stories, like, "I heard he beat him to death with a phone. I heard he slit his throat. My dad's a cop. He did this." And the movie just ends. It's a very odd movie. It's not the worst. But there's really not much depth to this movie at all.